Hello everyone, we are Group 8 and today we will be talking about skin cancer prevention and awareness. Skin cancer cases have increased rapidly in the Netherlands due to more UV exposure and an aging population. Around 77,000 new cases are diagnosed annually. And despite awareness campaigns, many still fail to take adequate preventive measures. So this leads to our problem. Treating skin cancer is expensive, placing a heavy burden on the healthcare system. Prevention campaigns focus on sunscreen use, protective clothing, and sun exposure limits, but behavior change remains slow. Thus, there is a need to encourage more proactive prevention efforts. And for this, we have thought of our design goal, which is our goal is to develop tools that promote skin cancer awareness and prevention by driving behavioral change. We have thought of three concepts. The first being SunShield, which is a mobile app providing real-time UV alerts, personalized to skin tone and location, directing users to nearby sunscreen dispensers. The second one is LumiGuard, which is a color-changing wristband that reacts to UV exposure, reminding users when they've been in the sun for too long. And then lastly, we have MoleCheck. This is a handheld device for mole scans, predicting malignancy and advising whether or not to see a doctor. So, our first concept, the SunShield app. This is an app which helps users prevent sunburns by sending personalized UV alerts based on skin tone and location. It also directs users to the nearest sunscreen dispenser, encouraging sun protection in places like beaches or sports fields. So here we see our user getting a notification from the SunShield app which says, "Hi UV alert, protect your sunscreen by applying sunscreen now." So he will be redirected via map to the nearest sunscreen dispenser. And this sunscreen dispenser has a QR code where he will scan the QR code and he will be able to dispense sunscreen. So for this app, we have some pros. The personalized alerts improve sun protection. It keeps your users informed and aware of sun exposure. And one user can raise awareness within the whole group. But there are also some cons. Users may ignore alerts or find them inconvenient, and the app requires a charge phone and internet connection. And lastly, locator accessibility may vary based on location. So, how will we be testing this? We will track how users respond to UV alerts and assess whether the sunscreen dispenser locator helps them take protective actions.
Concept 2. The LumiGuard wristband. The LumiGuard wristband changes color based on UV exposure, alerting users when they've been in the sun for too long. It's particularly useful for children who are at higher risk of sunburns and future skin cancer. In this video, you see a demonstration of how this wristband can be used. The user is exposed to too much sun and looks at his wristband. He sees that it changes colors, so he knows he has to seek some shade or put on some sunscreen. Here you can see he walks to the shade, and now he is protected against the sun. The pros and cons of this concept. The pros are that it is a simple, immediate visual cue for UV exposure. It is child-friendly and easy to use. It is also reusable after exposure to sunlight. The cons of this concept are that users may overlook the color change. The wristband might fade over time or get lost. And lastly, it could be uncomfortable to wear in hot weather. How will we be testing this? We'll measure how often users respond to color changes and test the practicality of daily use. Now, for our last, our last concept, the mole check device. The mole check scans moles to predict malignancy, advising users if a doctor visit is needed. It empowers users with quick results and reduces unnecessary dermatology visits by detecting potential issues early on. In this video, you can see how it is used. The mole check scans the skin at the location of the mole. If it is white, it is okay. Now you see if the light turns red, the mole is not okay and you need to visit a dermatologist. The pros and cons of this concept. The pros are that it encourages early detection and gives the user a peace of mind. It also reduces dermatologists' workload by pre-assessing moles. Lastly, the results can be sent to doctors before consultations. The cons of this concept. Users may over-rely on the device or mistrust its accuracy. It also may cause unnecessary panic if it gives a false alarm. And lastly, users may be unsure when to use the device. The testing phase. We will gather feedback on how much users trust the device and whether it prompts earlier visits to dermatologists. For the feedback, what feedback are we looking for? Effectiveness. Do these tools prompt preventive actions? Usability. Are they practical for daily use? And behavioral impact. Will they encourage long-term changes in sun protection habits? Conclusion. These tools all these three concepts aim to increase skin cancer awareness and promote prevention. We'll demonstrate each concept and gather feedback on whether they would prompt users to take preventive actions. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.